Like, I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual. I know God exists through all my stuff I've been through. So I just heard a voice say, look to your right. There's a kid running at me with a gun. Don't know why. JJ's over there. I've gone that way. So I'm riding now on my mountain bike. Obviously got my bulletproof vest. I can all hear is bang, 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 bang. About 6 shots. And all I felt was...
Welcome to On The Edge. I'm Zach, investigations editor at The Express. With me today, I've got Matthew Norford, ex-gang leader from Manchester, now a mentor and tell me a little about your work that you do now.
So I've got my own company called One Message, and it helps young people get out of gangs and live a productive life, get them into college, get them back into school, repair relationships with parents. It's just about being there for that young person.
Seamless segue right into the beginning of it. I love it. Anyway, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Nice for coming along. So start up. You're from Rusholme in Manchester. Tell us a little bit about, because not everyone will know what that area is like. Can you describe it a bit for us?
Well, when I was growing up in the 80s and 90s, Rusholme was mostly Afro-Caribbean community. You had some Asians in there, you had some white, but it was a nice, lovely community. Yeah, there was crime, but it was a community where in the summertime I can remember parents having the door open, all the parents talking together and all the young people playing together. It's the home of the best club in England, which is Man City. So
my God.
I grew up with 5 brothers, 2 sisters, an older sister and a younger one. My older brother Gary, best friend, my dad, my soulmate. I loved him more than life itself. We grew up in the same bedroom, same primary school. And yeah, Rusholme was, for me, growing up, it was a good place. You seen crime, but we had fun. We ride bikes together, the community played together. So for me, it was good.
And it's like it's the red brick, like 2 up, 2 down housing as well, isn't it? Sort of like, so everyone's like
crammed,
quite tight and that.
Mum had 4 boys and a daughter. My sister grew up in London, so my mum had 4 boys. Me and Gary shared a room. There were 2 little brothers shared a room. Then when you get to that age, 13, 14, when you start to wear boxers, it's like, on my first wet dream, it's like, Mum, what's going on? I need my own room. But I think that taught brothership, where if I had something, everyone had something. If I had a tenner, we split it 4 ways. It was, looking back, we were poor, but most of the community was poor. So my mum would ask for next door, have you got corned beef? For corned beef and rice, and there asked for bread. And so it taught me friendship and love. I have to see how the elders did it.
Yeah. And so, like, talk me through it. So, like, you're sort of getting pulled into stuff that's going on the outside, or?
So, when primary school, loved going to school, hated coming home, because sometimes when you're arguing with your mum, I'd stay outside when it's raining and I'd be crying. Gary would be the one that would come and get me, like, come on, bro, you've got to go in. Then after school, when you're seeing all the elders and they're giving you money to go shop and you're seeing them smoking weed and you just sat in the car, you're just around them, listening to the gangster music, like I say, and go shop for them, just hold this bag of weed for them. You really think that they love you. You really think that, they care about me. As you're going 8, 9, 10, my G, yes, Matthew, do you want to go shop for us? Yeah. You're waiting for them to come round so you can be with them, because to me, that was love.
Yeah. And so you liked school, but then you stopped liking it, or?
I liked school up until probably I got to high school. The first day of high school was great, but that was traumatic. So the first day of high school, there was basketball trials after school. I'll never forget the teacher who became a mentor to me, called Mr. Williams, a white guy. He was the England coach basketball. So after school, he said, there's basketball trials, you want to try out? I was kind of taller than all the year 7s. So we played for like 10, 15 minutes. I scored a basket. But that was the first time in my life, apart from Gary, someone said something good, especially the teacher, because I was a class clown in primary school. Oh, congratulations, Matthew. You've got talent. You've got potential. Do you want to join the team? Try out. I'm like, yeah. So I was that happy. I remember robbing the school basketball. Not on purpose, but because I'm talking to you, I just walked off with the ball. I was like, that felt good, that. So all the way home, I let the bus go past me. I'm walking for about an hour and 50 minutes, because all in my mind I'm thinking, my mum's going to say, congratulations, I'm happy. As I'm walking, I remember thinking, maybe I was a bad kid, but now she's going to love me. She's going to say congratulations. I walk through the door, and I'm kidding you not. Open the front door, I've opened the next door. And I'm like, Mum, the coach said, she's on the house phone, she got her back to me. I said, Mum, the coach said, I've got potential, I'm going to join the team. I swear on my soul, it felt like a movie. Like, it takes long for them to turn their head. Only probably seconds, and I was like, here it comes. She just went. and carried on a conversation that destroyed me as an 11-year-old kid. I remember slamming the door, proper crying, because I'm an emotional guy anyway, and my brother Gary, he had a big chain on. He was a gangster by these times. He was selling drugs. I mean, like I said, I'm like his son. He's put his arm out. What's up, bro? I'm like, I remember saying, that woman, yeah. You went to school in a brand new pair of Nike Ratchets. I had a pair of Adidas 3 stripes. I had a hole in them. And I'm just getting it all off my chest, and he's making excuses for. I'm like, nah, look how she treats you. She never gives me anything. For my birthday's Christmas Day, I don't get what I want, but I watch you get what you want. And JJ and Kyle, nah, I'm not having it. And then from that day, it was... me and my mum didn't really have a relationship. That took me. But basketball, the double-edged sword, within my first 2 years of high school, I played for Manchester Boys, Manchester Giants, Northwest Boys. And year 8, I had trials for England, which I was successful, started playing for England. But think of it, as a young boy, especially a young black boy, you're going to basketball training, say it starts at 7, 8. When it comes to half time, your mum's there, his dad's there. Just they've all got someone representing them, but there's no black face for me. And then when you're all in the corner and you're all having your water with your family, I used to be stood near you. It gets me proper emotional, and I just want someone to say, you know, come over. And it would always be one of the parents, oh, Matthew, good half. Do you want a bottle of water? Then you go and play the second half. But then when everyone's getting in their cars, I'm going to the bus stop, and it's like 10 o'clock, 10:30 at night. And they're going home. See you tomorrow in the warm car. And I'm at the bus stop. They're feeling sad and lonely, thinking, wow, mum can't come to one game to watch me how good I am. Then when you get home, it's like, mum, I've won the hot shots, or I've won the MVP. And it's just like, yeah. Like dismissing you. So then in my mind, I'm thinking, well, F you. I might as well make Gary happy. Gary's my brother. Gary loves me. Gary comes to some of my training sessions. I might as well be a gangster. And that's where my mindset comes from. The woman who's supposed to give me love's not giving it. My dad's a waste of space. The only person when I'm hungry or if I need anything, Gary's there. So it's like, I might as well make Gary happy. So then I started selling heroin, crack cocaine, weed, carrying guns, wearing bulletproof vest, still playing basketball because I loved both of them. Got kicked out of high school altogether, but they let me in for basketball games and to play for England. By the time I was 15, I was kicked out of high school altogether. By the time I was 15, I shot my first guy. It was a Dodderton boy. Shot him in the knee, but he missed his knee and went through his pants. And I've ran at him, pressed it against his chest, the gun's jammed. I pressed it about 3-4 times. Got off, came back, had a fight with him, knocked him out. And then from then I was just full-fledged in the gang. Went to jail at 16, had fights in jail. And all that did with my mind, I played basketball in jail. They gave me trials to play for Manchester Giants when I got out. But this is the whole truth. From being young, I've heard my mum and my nana say, like, the white people are the enemies. Now, when you grow up watching Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, American History X, when they makes the black guy bite the curb and stomps his head, when you look at the injustice to the black people, I believe that. Yeah, the probation are mostly white. Most of the system is white. Police, judges, prison officers, governors, social workers. So as a young kid who's smoking weed, drinking alcohol, thinks he's a gangster, listening to my mum, I'm looking at the white people and think, yeah, you locked me up. You locked me behind my cell. You were trying to give me courses. Probation were trying to do this. Not looking at I'm committing crime and these agencies are trying to help me. I'm looking at what my mum said, these are wrong. And then years and years and years later, my mum admitted she was wrong. Because like I said, Rusholme was mostly black. So I'm believing that, yeah, it's all a black, you know, black power, black pride. Trust me, it doesn't work like that in life. And that incident, and later on, I tell you, with Gary, that showed me that it's all a myth.
Just going back and slowing it down a bit. So when you started selling drugs, how old were you?
Age 13.
And how did it work? Did you realise, like, what it was that you got and, like, you knew about it?
I knew what heroin was and crack was from my older brother, through films, through my dad and my uncle. I remember just chilling with Gary, and Gary was selling, licking a shop, we call it, selling drugs to this guy, and he got like £80. I was buzzing. So then the next time he gave me some drugs, said, go and give it to this guy in the corner. And I got £20, and it was like, just for that. Remember, it's not like the films you see police watching you. I'm a 12-year-old kid, 13-year-old kid, getting drugs to hand. Police ain't looking at me. I'm a basketballer. I give it him, and then from that, it was like, that's easy. But because I was with Gary, no matter what Gary was doing, that love, that I'm just with someone who actually loves me. Gary, seriously, got to a point, Gary could have said, go kill him across the road. On my soul, God knows I would have went and shot him in his head. I would have asked why, because in my view, Gary's never did me wrong. He's all, yeah, it might be bad advice to society, but he's teaching me how to survive. He's teaching me the rules of the game. He's teaching me just how to be self-sufficient. And I know it's wrong, but this is all Gary knows. Because I know from Gary telling me when he was about 8, 9, my dad gave him a bag, a quick save bag. That's how long back we're going back, a quick save bag. And I'll never forget, it's what nearly makes me cry, because Gary was not an emotional guy. And he told me when I was going, bro, I never had a chance. Dad gave me a big quick save bag and I put my nose in it, like his head in it, and said obviously he's breathing. His nose went funny. He thought it was sand. That was heroin. Then he gave it to my uncle. My uncle was one of the biggest drug dealers in South Manny. He gave my brother a big bag of cash. Gary was corrupted from the ages, 7, 8, 9. Wow. He had no chance. So when a lot of people think grooming happens from on the internet, no, sometimes it's your close family and friends that will groom you to do stuff that benefits them.
Is that how you characterize it, or is it complicated? Because I know that a lot of people that I've spoken to about this, that they don't like the term grooming, or it's like, because you have relationships, sometimes it's your family, sometimes it's your close friends. It doesn't work like that. How do you look at that and with using a term like that, which is quite loaded, isn't it?
Grooming, to me, people think it sounds bad, but that is what you're doing. You're lying to them, you're manipulating to them, you're making us feel that you've got our best interests, turn us against our parents and everything, just so we can sell your drugs or do your shooting. But you ain't going to jail. It is going to jail when some people go to jail. Some people think that it's not mentally traumatizing. Of course it is. You're in jail with, first of all, with 1,000 men. I like seeing women. I like to see men naked in a shower, but you got to see that. Me and you got to share a cell. I don't want to smell your feces, but you're going to have to poo in that cell. Like, sometimes you don't wash. Jail is just disgusting. All that you go through, and what do we tell ourselves? It's part of the game, or it's part of the game. It's not part of no game. It's part of being manipulated to go and do a next man's bidding, and you go to jail.
And so, was violence always there as well as like the...
Yeah, you had to use a gun. Back in then, Manchester was called Gunchester. I had a 9mm, we had a 44 revolver, we had a 45. We had 12 gauge shotguns, we had a sawn off, we have a Sterling machine gun with a tripod and the banana clip that goes in the side, and you can put it from semi to automatic. We had 22s, we had 38s. Yeah, we had a lot of guns. And remember, think of it, as a kid, when you're 12, 13, you get your first gun. Wow. You've watched it in a movie, you've watched it in your rap videos, your drill videos, but now you've got one. You've been chilling with the real gangsters with the chains in the big cars, but now you've got it all. So your mind is warped. Like you say, we run Rusholme. We didn't run nothing. The police ran it, because who comes in and locks you up? Police. We didn't even own the house. Who can kick you out the house at any time? The police. So when we're fighting for Rusholme, and I've got it all over my body, stupid. When you look at it, look back, it is stupid. Young people are dying over postcodes, over area. You don't even own a brick in that area. But because you've been manipulated and groomed by the other generation, you think this is what we all do, when really that's not how life works.
And do you think how much did the environment play a role? Do you think if you'd not wanted to go down that path that you could have done?
Yeah, I had a basketball scholarship. I just chose to do that because of Gary, because I loved him. When no one's coming to basketball, no one's coming to any of your games, it's kind of disheartening to carry on, because I just want my mum. I said to my mum, one session, you clapping, that would have had me enough to... I had a scholarship at 15, 16 to go to America with £250,000 attached to it for 2 years. All I had to do is get C grades in my English and maths, just past them two. I was flying in school when I wanted to, but why am I doing this when my mum's not... Remember, I'm young, I'm smoking weed, I'm drinking alcohol, I'm listening to Tupac, C-Mid, all this rap stuff, just like the young people listen to drill and watch Shiro's Story and Top Boy. I was watching Menace and Boys in the Hood. It's just the same. So my mind was warped, and I remember sitting there thinking, £250,000, when I'm making £1,000 a day profit, give me 2 years, that's nearly £1 million. Yeah, right. And just like the old films, I thought me and my brother were going to retire to Spain and buy a villa, and didn't work like that. Police kicked my door in and sent me to jail. But the environment, I'm going to say yeah or no, because I know people that had the same opportunities as me and took it. Wes Brown's from alongside, he made it in football to United. Nicholas George, he made it to America. He didn't get into the NBA, but he even said he came back and he played in Greece. So it's a bit of both, and it's a bit how strong-minded that individual is. I wasn't strong-minded then. I thought I was, but obviously I wasn't, because I was allowed to be manipulated to follow other people and follow my brother. But I chose to follow my brother. That is purely out of love, because that was the one who fed me when I'm in trouble with the older gangsters. If Gary just came on the scene, everyone would just disperse, because he was known to shoot his gun, he was known to kill. So love is the biggest drug. I don't care what anyone says. Love is over money. You really love someone, you're going to do anything to make that person happy.
How mad was it back then, like with all the guns and everything? Because I guess it's one of those where it's like you only look at what's going on now and you kind of forget like that was the Gunchester stuff that was...
I think it was worse than it is now, because there were gunshots every day, people were getting shot. Like, we would ride no hands with our guns like that in broad daylight and see people and start shooting off. I remember one incident where we were riding in the morning, 7:30, Gary's called me, and Gary was a madman. So this is 7:30 in the morning. Rolled up our ballys, all in black, bulletproof vests on, riding down the main road. You got all the kids that know us. All right, Skelly, all right, G. Pulled up in my side. He's pulled his body down. I pulled the body down. Obviously, it's about 7:45 now. You've got like the traffic, people on buses, people in cars, and they're all like, because all I can see is two guys come out of the alleyway, look right and left. Gary jumped off the bike. I've held two bikes. He's knocked the door with the 44, and then he's knocked the window, and you can see someone come, and they've ducked, and Gary's gone like that. And everyone in the cars was like, calmly got back on the bike. We rid in the alley, back up to Rusholme. And as we got in the house, I went, what was you going to do? He's going to shoot whoever come to the door. I was like, but say if it's someone who wasn't involved, then shut up, open the door. And I remember, I swear I said to him, you're going to get me lifed off and stop chilling with you. 6 months later, Gary was up for murder. Him and his co-D for a murder and 5 attempts. Gary beat the trial, and our close friend, who's like a brother, Hassan, he got 3 life sentences for a murder and 3 attempts, and he got 16 years in jail. But the shootings were every day. I used to have a gun every single day. And you're selling drugs, so you're worrying about the drugs, the guns, people trying to kill you. You're waking up in the morning, smoking a spliff, drinking alcohol, putting bulletproof vest on, and you're going to ride to kill. I'm going to ride to try and kill you or your boys. Over what? When you really think about it, over what? And risk 35 years in jail. That should show you how twisted our minds get.
Was it like an anxiety that you've got? Like being constantly on alert, on edge?
Yeah, but back as a 15, 16, even in your mid-20s, you don't know about anxiety unless you go to college or meet normal people who talk about trauma. You don't know. You just, like I said, you chalk it to the game. You smoke more weed. You don't know why your heart's having heart palpitations. You don't know why you're anxious when you go places or why you're worried. But that's because, like I said, you're not doing nothing productive. Everything is just negative energy around you. And then you want to be the baddest from your area. You want to be the baddest of your time. So me and Gary, because we only had 10 gang members, we had to do extra than what the other ones would do. So Gary taught me, it's not about the numbers, it's about the quality of what you do. So if we ever got shot at, you best believe we're going to catch one of that gang member that night. If you come near my mum's house, we're going to run in your mum's house and put a gun in your mum's face. Like, it's not a joke. And all that, when you sit down by yourself with no alcohol and weed, when you're just chilling and your conscience opens up, that's why a lot of people take Class A drugs, smoke hell a lot of weed, because you've got to block that. We've all got a conscience. And sometimes when it's creeping up, a big spliff, alcohol. Some people have never took like crack or heroin or sniff, but some people take it, and that's the deal with what we're doing every day. It really mashes up your soul. It really takes a lot from you.
And then in terms of like, you mentioned the term gang, and there's people have preconceptions about what it is. What was it for you? For
me, it was people that I grew up with that were in the same predicament, where all our mums were friends, single mums, all our dads were wastemen. And it all starts with us friends. So if all those 4 guys here are friends, and you come back from, I don't know, another area, say Longsight, with a bus lip and a bus nose, remember, we've slept in the same room, your mum's borrowed off my mum, we've been dropped to school in like carpools and everything, then you come back with a bus lip saying such and such as did that to you. Now, I love you like a brother. So at this point, we're not a gang, we're just friends. So we're going to want to go and hurt them. But they probably might have used a bat, so we're going to take a knife. They come back with a knife, or they come with a gun, then we use guns. But it doesn't start with, we're going to call ourselves RCG. It starts with, no, we're just friends going to school. You've been jumped. Now we do that. And then what happens is the media and the police, them Rusholme lot, them Rusholme boys. So you saying, oh, Rusholme boys, sounds a bit corny. Rusholme crew gangsters, RCG, Longsight soldiers, Longsight crew. The media give you the name and you just run with it. So, yeah, Manchester was bad. I think it was worse than what it is now.
It's nuts, because that reminds me of this story that I heard about the police they'd been on Snapchat, and they'd seen these kids exchanging messages about like, oh, it was a pretend like we're in a gang.
Yeah.
The police had gone out and been like, okay, you guys are in a gang, like whatever name it was.
Yeah.
They were obviously like, we're joking, but then when the police done it, basically it flipped around and the kids started using that name as like seriously.
See? You're giving the kids ideas. Stop highlighting it when you're saying turf war, postcodes war. When we seen stuff in the paper, I swear down, when we did a shooting, because Rusholme was so small, they'd put some of the shootings to my side. That made us angry. We're like, they didn't do it, we did it. Oh, now we're going to cause a shooting in our area to let you know Rusholme is bad. If they never put it in the news, we wouldn't care, because the streets know we did whatever shootings. But when they put it in the news and other people, you might be from Leeds, oh, Moss High's turned up in it. No, what do you mean? Most of the shootings happened in Rusholme, but they just class it as Moss Side. When you say you're giving this gang the name, say Gooch, the biggest name, we want that title. So then don't you think that's pushing us to go out and do even more heinous crimes or more off-the-wall crimes? Of course it is. It's like you're showing the spot who's number one, and no, we want our name in the newspaper.
Because the era that you was, I suppose, the time when like the British media properly started like latching onto this thing of like, it's coming over from America.
Yeah.
It's like, and obviously Manchester was one of the places where it was like, oh no, this is happening here.
Yeah.
Do you remember being conscious of like thinking it was ridiculous or that it was feeding into it?
I remember thinking, they're giving us a bit of limelight. Because I remember the Bloods and Crips came over to Manchester and everyone went in to get in. And obviously that was the time of the Bloods and Crips, banging on wax.
Wait, what do you mean the Bloods and Crips come to
Come
Manchester?
over. They did come over and did like a speech.
What,
the
to like...
Blood and Crips,
to prevent people...
Prevent people doing the same thing. But obviously all the gangsters went. So then that's when Mossad took up, if you look at it, Gooch and all them took up the blue bandana and Dodderton and all them took up the red bandana.
Wait, so it had the opposite effect?
It had the opposite effect because you're trying to... I suppose they glamorised it because remember, we've all watched Colours, Boys in the Hood, and it's all Bloods and Crips. So when they've come over now, these actual, not the actors, the actual gangsters, it's like, they're on it. They're all in the blue suits and the red suits. It's like, we can identify with that, what they're talking about. We might as well take that on. Everything England does comes from America first, if you look at it.
Wait, so just so we understand this correctly, they come over to do a speech.
Yeah.
And then you're like, all right, we're going to adopt the colours of it.
Yeah, it backfired badly. Their message was good, but it's like, how can I put it? It's like me still being a gangster and trying to talk to kids not be gangsters. They're not going to listen to that. They're going to take everything that I'm not saying. They're going to look at the attire. They're going to look at everything in the past that I've done. Why it works now is because I dress like this. I don't go in like that. I don't have a bandana on or a ballet on. I'm going about what I did and I show how ridiculous it is. Where they come, showing bullet wounds and that. So I'll never forget after they come out of Manchester, everyone took up the Crips and Bloods identity. You either had red or you had blue bandana. Stupid though, innit? When you look at it, like, it's stupid, innit? So you had the Mossad Bloods, you had Old Trafford Crips, Fallowfield were blue. Yeah, quite every gang. If you was with Dodderton, he was like the main gang in Manchester, and Gooch had the two big main gangs. You took Gooch with blue and Dodderton were on the red side. Well, not even Gooch really, but Gooch's affiliates like Old Trafford, a little branch off. They took it on. The serious ones, we didn't start dressing in blue and everything. I used to look and think, you're not from America. You're not from Compton. Well, you're shooting each other over flags now. So got a bit stupid.
And then in terms of like the hierarchy or how it worked like that. Yeah. So you had your brother in there, and then you. Like, what was it when your brother went away that you kind of came to the top, or how did it work? So
basically, Gary, with the older ones, Rusholme was small. And like I said, Mossad had Gooch and Dodderton, they were born gangsters. So Rusholme, we were coming up. Me and Gary were born from Mossad, so we seen it all, then took it to Rusholme. So then Gary was 2 years older, so he was just on his, he was violent. So Gary was the leader, because when we were beefing with Longside and Dodderton, all the other ones older than Gary, they ran off, they dispersed. So it was just me and Gary and probably like 4 or 5 of us. So then, as I'm putting in work, I was the first one to go to jail at 16. So when you go to jail, that's how you make your name as well, because there's no guns in jail. There's obviously, back then in the 90s, there wasn't really too many shanks. Can you fight? I can handle them. I'm not saying I'm a knockout king. I can handle myself. So I went to jail and made my name, shouted out Rusholme, got Rusholme more known. So when I come out, I've already climbed the rank because I've been in jail. I've had fights. I've lost one, but that was a Newcastle guy. He gave me a right hook and made me see stars. That was a fight that I'll never forget. And then when I come out, because your name, you've done so much, you just move up. People look up to you. People want to know what should we do about this. And I remember coming out like, such and such has come through the area. We'll go and get the gun and go chase him. Nah, come, you grab it, let's go. You're like, whoa, like, then you see that all these are looking up to you. Then it's like, yo, grab that, come meet me, we're going to do this. Yeah, and just rolls at the ranks, because that's what I wanted to do, to make Gary proud. I swear on my life, I did not want to do any of it, but Gary loves me, so I want to make him proud. Until when I was like mid-20s in the Muppet, and I say that with all loving, the guy turned around and was like, you're having one of them brother moments. So Gary doesn't do emotions. I'll never forget smoking a spliff. We've just come from riding, trying to shoot people, didn't see no one. It's like 12 at night, we're just talking, he's gone, bro, this life, it's not for you, you've got a good heart. Because enough times we've caught people and say they're like 16, 17, they're not Dodderton members, but they talk to them. So man are ready to kill him. I'm like, nah. And this is like at 11, 12 o'clock at night. The guy's trying to go home. He's cutting through our area. We've been patrolling, caught him. He's gone, he's a dark-skinned guy. He's gone white as that light because he's got 3 guys ballied up, a big 45 pointed at his face. And I'm like, nah. My man's like, allow him. Bro, my man chats to him. I'm like, there's people in our area that chats to us. You can't be in our area and not chat to us because man are just going to rob you, but you're always not part of them and let him go. And then Gary's like, bro, you got too much of a good heart, man. You need to, get a job, man. Be with your kids, man. You're a good guy, man. Me, I'm too far gone. And I never forget what kind of made me start getting on that path to what a change. I always used to joke and I went, you're going to hell for everything you've done. And he went, bro, I'm too far gone. But you actually know what you're doing is wrong. You don't want to do it. Where do you think you're going? And I never forget that stuck with me like, fair play. You were kind of brought into it for your dad and uncle. I'm doing it out of sheer choice because I want to make you proud. And when he said, where do you think you're going? I thought, it hit the soul like, yo. And then, been in jail more times after that. Then I got shot with a machine gun, got the bullet still in my leg. Yeah.
Did you reflect back on some of the stuff that had happened after he said that?
Yeah, I remember thinking about times we've chased people down, times I've shot people, you can see them running for their life and they're scared, when we've run in people's mums' houses and the mums and the kids are screaming and everything, and you think, I had a basketball chance. I had another chance when I come out of jail the first time. I had another chance when I come out the second time, and he's right. What else going to look at me? Yeah, Gary didn't have a chance. You actually had 3 chances, and you're still doing this badness. And then what made me look is when I got shot, because that night, until that point, the shoes kind of been always on our foot. We're chasing them down because we were vicious. 8 a.m, we're on you. We're not waiting till nighttime. We were on it. So
wait. So just talk me through the day then, like an average day, if you're waking up at 8, because that's like a reasonable time of when people are going to work, right?
Yeah, but the early bird, some people are serious and some people do it for show. I got serious about it because I wanted to make Gary proud, so I would take it to that level it needs. So we'd get up in the morning, say 8, brush your teeth, shower, throw your black clothes on, your bulletproof vest, roll your belly up, obviously get a sack of weed, you're rolling in a car, or if you're on bike, you definitely got your gun. We'd go to Moss Side or go to Longside because they're the areas we had beef with. We're cool with him now, but back then we had beef with him. And we looking to shoot anybody, catch someone dropping a kid off, catch him at the porridge shop. And if you didn't, you go back, obviously sell the drugs. You got the workers who will wake up, you give the younger ones the phones, and then you're just chilling, might jump in a car, go look for some gal, get some food. And then if nothing happens, it's just a day of chilling around your area, you're going shop, you might play football with the youngsters. But then when it comes to night time, it's fully murder time. All blacks, balaclavas on, through the alleyways, guns out, riding no-handed. So if we see him, we've already got the drop, we can start shooting. And then if nothing happens, grab a bottle of liquor. Ours was Hennessy. Grab a bud, which is weed, and see if you can grab as we call him, a slapper, a gal who's not really who's just like that. And that was the day. But most days you'd be chasing someone down, and you might not shoot at him. You're just chasing him because you're thinking it's broad daylight. I've got no mask, and I even got my gun on me, so you're bluffing. But because we're known to always have a gun, if you see us, you're automatically going to run. You're not going to chance that these guys ain't got a gun. You're going to run. And it does get exhausting. It takes a lot out of you. And then the night I went to go shoot someone, it totally backfired. I brought my little brother, JJ was 19, I was 24, and another kid, gone to shoot someone. So I told my brother, stay in the alley, I've got the 45. I've come out the alley, I've gone onto the next street, and God's my witness, there's about between 4 and 6 of these young kids who were about 15 to 17, and they were Dodderton members. They were about here to where he is, and they just went, this is like 10:30 at night, they just seen a guy with a 45 just pointing at them, and they've all gone. God's my witness, I could have shot every single one in the back or in the head, at least caught 2, 3 of them, because obviously they all would have ran. The only reason I didn't is because Gary told me, Gary's murdered someone, I can say it because it's Gary's passed away, he's not here, and it's in the newspaper anyway. So Gary, when I was in jail the second time, a guy, God rest his soul, tried to rob the car of my brother Hassan Abdul. Dave drove up, Hassan drove up, Gary's lead in the car, shot him in his head, shot him again, shot 3 people, and he shot after everyone who was running away. And that's when they got charged with a murder and 5 attempts. But Gary beat it, and Hassan got guilty. And Gary always told me, bro, when you kill someone, that vision of that guy's face never leaves your brain. Gary started drinking alcohol from the morning till night, and I'll never forget, it was brandy mixed with 2020. Remember the 2020 bottles? Or the Bacardi Breezer. He was an alcoholic, he smoked weed from the morning. He always said, bro, when I close my eyes, his face is always there. So that's why I never killed them youngsters and let them go off, because when you see a young person killed, what do they always do? No matter how much of a terror that young kid was, what did they do? They put his picture on the news with his school uniform, the most innocent picture. Now that guy could have been terrorizing you, but so I let him get off, and then I've gone back in the alleyway. I said to my brother, "Come, let's go." Before I've gone in the alleyway, sorry, people have gone in Manchester. We say, "Who's that?" So I've ran to the park, and you can see like shadows was running. I thought 6 shots, so let's let her fall. And then I thought, nah. So I've gone back to the alleyway. I said to my brother, "Yeah, hold this." He's gone out further into my side as I've gone. Like, I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual. I know God exists through all my stuff I've been through. So I just heard a voice say, "Look to your right." There's a kid running at me with a gun. Don't know why. JJ's over there. I've gone that way. So I'm riding now on my mountain bike. Obviously got my bulletproof vest. I can all hear is bang, 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 bang. About 6 shots. And all I felt was like the wind of the bullets flying past my head into the tree trunk. I was scared. When people, like, all the elders told me, yo, when I was in a shootout, they make it sound like it's exciting and they weren't scared, but yo, I was scared. It's like 11:15 now. It's on a Sunday night. I'm thinking, I just want to get home to see my kids and see Gary. So as I'm riding, I think, JJ, can't you hear this guy? Can't you hear the shooting? So JJ's come out of the alley. JJ's shot after him, probably shot after each other twice. So then I've got probably 3/4 of the way over this croft and trying to go behind Mossai Biore. And I'm like, yes. God just said, look to your left. There's a kid walking sideways with a machine gun with the stock out. And he's holding it like that, but he's walking sideways, like to steady himself. And I thought, oh, this kid knows what he's doing. And obviously, as I'm leaning forward, your bulletproof vest comes up. So I'm thinking, oh, he's going to rip through me intestines. Oh, I swear in that moment, I've gone, God, if this kid's going to shoot me, please let this kid shoot me in my lower body. Then I've gone out to grab my gun. I gave it my brother in the alleyway when I was fixing my belt. So I'm like, JJ, can't you see this guy? And the guy's lowered it and just gone, Rah! That's 30 bullets. Like, just went left to right. I'm still riding. I'm going through the estate. My brother's come out. Like, the police car. The police near the police station called Green A's. All them lights are coming on. Another car's come. Shot at my brother. My brother shot at them. Seen the kid drop. Got up. Ran off. They jumped in the car. Got off. Another car's coming towards me. I've gone out to grab my gun. But obviously I forgot that I've given JJ again, so I've got off into Hume. Rusholme's that way, my area. I'm going further away. I'm not going to lie, I'm in an alleyway. I've got a bally on. I threw it off. It's about 11:15. It's raining. I am hot. I am scared. I'm thinking. I can hear the car skidding up and down. I thought, if they jump out this car and come in this alley, I'm a dead man. So then I've got to my son's granddad's house, managed to crawl in the garden. He's got me on the chair. When I've got on the chair, my left leg, I could not bend it. It was killing me. I've seen blood coming out my thigh. My brothers and that have come, tried to get me in the car. They've come back again, shot at us. Gary shot up the car. As we've come off this estate and took a left, the ambulance, the paramedics and the police were outside their vehicle. So Gary stopped the car. JJ's ran out, jumped out, ran back into the estate. We've turned the car around, literally drove like 2-3 seconds behind us. The police dived for cover on the floor. They like a proper dive like a movie. That paramedics got in the ambulance and drove off. Obviously, I pulled my body up. I've got out, I'm hobbling. And this is all the gang police. They threw me on the ground and I'm like, I'm not crying, but I'm like, get an ambulance back. And the police come over and went, we don't care if you die. The nearest ambulance is 45 minutes away. The nearest armed response is 45 minutes away. So you're looking at another 45 minutes. I've probably been bleeding about 45 minutes. I'm in and out of consciousness. And they're like, oh, the people you and your brother shot and your brother's murdered people, and the houses you've shot up and got kids and you've ruined their lives. We don't care if you die. And he turned away and started laughing to his colleagues. I remember thinking, wow. Then I woke up in an ambulance. The woman said, don't fall back to sleep, Matthew. You've lost too much blood. And I swear on my soul, like I said, I know God exists. No one can't tell me he doesn't. They can't pay me to say he doesn't. I just looked up in the ambulance and went, God, I want to come back home. I'm tired. Closed my eyes. When I woke up handcuffed in the ambulance, the hospital, I was absolutely gutted. I swear. I remember thinking, I'm still alive. It's not a dream. Then all the armed response are there and I've gone, first thing I've asked, where's my brother? They've gone, Gary, we've locked him up. I've gone, why? I'm the one that's been shot. They went, well, he murdered someone over your car. What's he going to do now? His little brother's been murdered. Just tell you this. And he looked at his watch. He went, tell Gary to murder someone between today, which is Sunday, and Thursday, because I'm off duty. Then the doctor comes and gone, it's gone in and out your left leg. So I'm arguing with this doctor. And the police have gone, shut up, and banged me right in my jaw. Oh, obviously your first reaction is because I'm handcuffed. When you look at that armed response, you think, 6'5", built like a brick house. Yeah, with guns, I'm going to lose that one. So then the older doctor comes down, and this is where it's gone in and out your left leg. He's held my penis in 2 hands, and the bullet went through the bottom of my penis. So it was kind of like snapped. I just blacked out. I woke up in the next morning, and I swear down, the doctor's come and gone, so it went in your left thigh, went through your penis, it went through your right testicle, and it's in your right leg. So I'm like, how many bullets? He went, just one. So then I've seen the catheter bag, and I've never seen one, and then I've seen like, I'm having a and I'm like, oh, they really got me on my penis. And then Gary's come in, they've let him out, and Gary doesn't do emotions. I'll never forget his walk. So I'm like this in the bed, he's walked past me to the window. You can see a tear in his eyes. He's gone, you all right, bro? I'm going, yeah. He's gone, nah, you know we're not leaving that. I'm like, bro, like, we shot, man, you've killed, man, like, it's part of the game, nah. I'm not shooting my little brother. And then I've gone, bro, man got me in the penis show. People's mum, anyone has to go in this game, bro. It's like, it's what it is. Then he's got off, said, I'll check you back later. And then people have come to the hospital to try and get me. Police have had to move me, then they kicked me out of the hospital. And yeah, it was... That life is wild. It's wild and it's traumatic. People think, like I said, you chalk it up. It's just a game. It's part of the game. Man are going to try and kill me. That trauma of being shot, it didn't get to me until probably 10 years later. Now I know about PTSD and everything. Like, yeah.
What happened after that then?
The shooting. Yeah, we carried on running the gang. Obviously, we went back and shot one of them, and then back and forth shootings. And then I went to jail the third time. And then in jail the third time, I was on an open jail. I went home for 5 days, come back on the Friday, had my mobile phone, chatting to everyone over the weekend, Monday, Tuesday, speaking to everyone, Wednesday morning, I'll never forget, a guy come running up to me, but this guy talks rubbish, he lies. So first thing in the morning, 8:30, well, 8 o'clock, you got your coffee, I'm rolling a burn, like tobacco to smoke, I'm like, oh, it's this Muppet one. And never forget, it's just gone, yo, have you heard what happened last night? I've gone, nah. It's gone, 2 of your brothers have got stabbed. I've gone, nah, we shoot first. It's gone, yeah. 2 have been stabbed, 1's dead. Obviously, I swear on my soul, I was thinking, my mum would have phoned my mobile phone. Someone would have phoned me. Someone would have phoned the jail. So obviously, it's early morning. I've gone on the phone. I've gone, morning, mum, what's going on? And she's like, oh, nothing. I'm just with JJ. I'm like, oh, where are you going? She's like, oh, I'm going to Liverpool. So I remember thinking, I'm going to smash this guy up when I catch him. But then I've had this little naggy feeling. I said, mum, forget all that. What I've heard about my brother. And I never forget. She just went, and this is her firstborn son. She just went, Gary's dead. I went, you what? She went, yeah, we got stabbed last night and he's dead. Your other brother Carl's on life support. I put that phone down, obviously going up to himself, smashed the door. There's a guy on the phone, his name's Bergs, he's a Dodderton boy. Well, he was a Dodderton boy, obviously we grew up. And his friend was the one that shot me, and my brother was involved. My brother was in the Gooch gang that was involved in killing his cousin, so we didn't get on. I'm not lying, I remember being in my cell, my hands are shaking, and with the tobacco, I'm like, Dad, I spoke to him last night. And then he's come, he's like, bro, I know we're not friends or nothing yet, but yo, what's going on? Because he knows the pain. And then he's put the news on. As soon as I heard like Gary Mullings, I swear, I broke down. It was like someone stabbed me. This guy's the only guy that I've loved in my life. My mum didn't give me love. My dad was never there. My uncle used and abused us. Like Gary's the only guy that gave me a hug when I had beef with any Gooch, Dodderton boy. When Gary told me, bro, no one can't touch you. I'll lick everyone's head off you. I've done that. I've just beat a murder case, bro. Gary's words were, I will be on another 5. No one can touch you, bro. Do you know the weight off my shoulder I felt? And then they've told me I can go home. 2 hours later, they told me you're allowed to go home because if you're in an open jail, that's like the law. So I've gone to reception. I mean, I've got snot coming out my nose, my lips like, I'm proper. Gary, I love him more than my own life. Like, so I've got my hands on the reception desk, got my head like down like that. I've just felt a pair of handcuffs. Click, I've gone like, so what you doing? They've gone, the police have told us when you go jail, you only know what you're in for. I've always been jailed for intent to supply drugs. They didn't know about my gang history and the shit I've did. So the governor's gone, the police have told us who you are, what you've done out there, what they suspect you of, what Gary means to you. We've got to get you to Marlin's prison. So when I went to that prison, the first night I'm in a cell by myself, I don't know nobody. And when when I'm dreaming, I've had a dream that I'm speaking to Gary. So when I've woke up, I'm like, yeah, my brother's not seen the metal sink. I've said, oh, he's dead. 6 weeks, they told me I can keep going to the funeral. I'm going. If your mum, dad, brother, kids, or your sister or brother died, you're allowed to go to funeral. They take paedophiles and rapists, and they're the worst of the worst. They put them in handcuffs and we'll take them with police escort. The 4 weeks I've gone, they said, right, you can go. The night before, they said, go to reception, try your funeral clothes on. I've got there, the screws have said to me, the 2 security screws, we can't let you go. Police have told us who you are and what you've did and what Gary means to you, and there's going to be your gang members with guns there and probably people want to retaliate. We can't let you go for the safety of everyone. I dropped to my knees. I was bawling my heart out. I was looking for the scissors. God's my witness, I would have just killed myself. I wanted to be with the only guy that gave me love. Now he's dead, and you tell me I can't say goodbye. And I wasn't even there. And my other 2 brothers are locked up. So all my mum's kids are in jail and 1's dead. And then what they did, they took me to the Chapel of Rest. I've never been. I wish I didn't go. So they handcuffed me, took me to Manchester. And obviously the gang police are out there, Rod Carter, I know him. And they took off the cuffs, they've let me go in there. And when I walked to this casket, I'm like, who the hell's in that casket? I didn't know about trauma once again. And I've looked in it. Gary looked like, when he was alive, he looked like a mixed race guy. He was fair skin. It was darker than the mic. I swear that killed me. Blue hat, blue cardigan, blue blazer, like blue shirt, blue jeans, black socks, no trainers, and he's just lying there like that. And obviously, I'm looking at him and I'm thinking, I'm not lying. I looking at him, it looks like he was asleep. I thought he was gonna go, joking, bro. But obviously, that didn't happen. And I remember, like the movies, let me give him one last brother handshake, and his hand was frozen stiff to his thigh. That destroyed my soul. That cut me in half. I just dropped to my knees crying. I was there for about 2 minutes. I said to the officers, take me back to jail. And when I got back to jail, I had like a panic attack and everything. Then the next morning, all that made me do is just, I was ready to get man from Leeds. I had friends in Liverpool that would have did the murder for me. I'm ready to make phone calls. But then I phoned my mum and said, Mum, so sorry I can't come. Because out of all the kids, she thought I was going to go because I was in an open jail. She went, yeah, they won't let your brothers go. This is how quick I went, morning, Mum. She went, morning. I went, what are you doing? She went, oh, JJ and Kyle can't come. I said, they won't let me come. She's gone, I know. She went, I've got to go now, Matthew. They've brought Gary's body to me and it's downstairs. Then I heard her go, and she started crying, but she put the phone down, and I've never heard my mum crying. In that moment, I remember it sunk in. So my brother's dead. We've run a gang. He's murdered people. We've shot people. We've kidnapped him. We've tortured him. We've sold drugs. We've done all that for what? Now my best friend's dead and I'm in jail. I remember just going to my cell, slamming the door, dropped to my knees and saying, God, whatever you want me to do, I'm going to do. Please forgive my sins, and I hope you take my soul. But everything you want me to do, I'll go through. I will go through. Look what's happened doing it my way. And then through that, I started changing my life. But that destroyed me. And the joke is what the Gary used to tell me to do, go and get a job. So when he died, I was extra hurt. I thought, if I would have did what he told me to do, I probably could have saved him if I went to the basketball. And even if I didn't make it to America, I would have got £250,000. I could have brought a house in a nice part of Manchester. So I had to take that on board. And I only did that when a school kid said to me, you're part of the reason your brother's dead. And I went kicking off because she was young. I was like, what do you mean? I was in jail. And she went, 1 minute, calm down. She went, every time you came out of jail, Gary knew you was going to go back to the same thing. So Gary and you knew that you had each other. So you were always going to do the same thing. Maybe if you took one of your free basketball opportunities, you could have saved him. And I remember going back to prison and thinking, that little kid's right. I blamed the cops. I blamed the government for putting the drugs and the guns in the hood. I blamed everyone, my mum. But your mum never put a gun in your hand. It was you and him that decided to do that. So through Gary, I started my own company. And that's what I help people now, like kids who are in gangs, parents who have got trouble with the kids. Like I do anything to help young people.
Wait, so where was that kid? When was that meeting? When did it happen?
Oh, the kid who told me.
Yeah.
So after Gary died, there's a woman called Jane Carr. Like I don't care what anyone thinks. I'm just honest. I love that woman more than my mum, and the only reason is because she's been there for me. When I was in jail and I went home for 5 days over Christmas, and an inmate come, I swear on my son, I'm not lying about nothing. The inmate come, knock my door, and I'm like, what do you want? He's like, Jane wants you. Put my slippers on downstairs. It's like 3 in the afternoon. I'm like, knocked the door. Normally it's light in there, but it's dark, so I've had to adjust my eyes. And I swear on my life, the woman brought a cake in. She would have got fired. She would have got caught sneaking that cake in. It had candles in, and I swear I burst out crying. And she gave me a hug. She went, Matthew, you're going home for 5 days. I'm not going to see you. But everything that's happened this year with Gary, I just want you to know that you are loved, and I just want you to have a good finger. And I said, Jane, no one's ever did that for me. So Jane took me to schools from that prison. I was in for another 40 months after Gary. She got me out, and she'd take lads out to prisons around Leeds, everywhere from Doncaster. We used to get out from Fawn prison, open prison, and go to schools and talk about our story.
Oh wow! So you're doing it from
prison, yeah. When it was raw, and kids will ask you questions where they don't care how you feel. So I'd answer, I'd think and go, right, here's the honest answer. But when I go back to my pad, I'm like, that was my fault. What have you got out of it? You could have changed it. You have to look at yourself, and that's one of the hardest things I had to do before I changed my life. And then I got out cleaning cars for Europe Car. I was bloody happy. I used to be, I'm not going to say homophobic because I was misinformed. So growing up, you think in the black community, you're not supposed to like gays. The guy that got me my first job was a gay Scottish guy called Andy. Friends to this day. No, like he used to make like jokes. Like, so I'd be cleaning a car, I'd be like, oh, you got a nice set of pecs there, hon. I'm like, Andy, I'm straight. I like women. Keep your comments to yourself. I'm only joking, Matthew. And then we've gone out and everything. And I remember one night I stayed at his house. And so I've slept with my bottom towards the wall. And then he's come in, he's gone, you must have been so uncomfortable. Like, what are you on about? He went, I seen you. He went, do you like gay guys? I'm like, I like women. He went, gay guys know that. We don't like straight guys because we know you don't fancy us. And he went, you're not even all that nice looking. And I went, what you? Oh, you nearly got me. But he's a good friend, and that showed me that if a gay guy can give me a job, and be honest with me, when the police came in, because when I first got out, police come in and will say to you, Matthew, you don't hire him, he's done all this. He's put him straight. So what's the difference between gays and straight? It's like gays, like gay guys. That's your thing. You do your thing, but it doesn't mean you're a bad person. So just through life, after Gary died, I've just took everything and been able to look at it for what it is.
And because that's nuts, that it's like the kids were helping to change your mind from that first bit. What are some of the other things that they said to you that made you catch yourself on?
It's your fault. Do you know, that's one of the other things. Well, maybe your mum did love you, but because she might have been battered or abused, that she didn't know how to love you. She didn't know how to show the love. And I remember thinking, wow. So when I found out, my mum didn't have the best upbringing, then I've done something that my dad, like, I look like my dad, I act like him when I was younger. So I thought, right, she probably did love me, but she just didn't know how to show it to the guy who looks like. So my dad battered or abused her. Out of all her kids, I look just like him. So it probably was hard for that. Things like, you're to blame for everything that's happened. Don't blame everywhere. Don't sit here. And then one of the kids went, boo-hoo you. And I remember I went, what? She went, boo-hoo you. There's people in other countries with worse stories than you. You don't see them moaning. And I thought, you know what? Fair play. I shook her hand and said, you know what? I've never looked at it like that. I wanted a sympathy. I wanted people to feel sorry. I said, you know what? We did shoot people. So what happened? She went, yeah. If you're in the army, you can't moan when someone dies. That's your point. You're going abroad to fight people. What do we think? People are just going to die on their side? I went. Just made me go. Just loads of questions over the years. What was your worst regret? And that's one of the biggest ones. And I went, not taking a basketball, because everything would have been totally different. One of the other ones last week, a kid, no one's ever asked me, she went, but really though, Matthew, inside and mentally, how do you feel? And I swear I couldn't answer it. I went, I think I'm all right sometimes, but then I burst out crying. So I think mentally I'm doing just okay in it, because I have days where I'm down because I think about Gary, and I think about, like, my sister passed away, God rest her soul, from an ectopic pregnancy. We failed her as brothers. She had 5 brothers in gangs. How did she end up in gangs? Like, we failed her. Like, I can take that on my soul. We failed her. But I look at her and Gary are out of this life. They ain't stressing about kids, they're not stressing about bills and all that. So through life, I just take it, what's the word? I'm just honest with it now. Where before it'd be your fault, it'd be his fault, it'd be everyone's fault, but nah, I know how to take it.
And when you're going and working with the kids, like, how do you feel when you see a kid that's like in the similar shoes to you? Like, is it?
My heart goes out to them. I feel sorry for them. But then I'm like a big brother to them, so I'm honest. Some kids need to hear an honest truth. You're not like that, yeah, you're a muppet. You've got a mum and dad, actually, a good mum and dad who actually, is your mum burn you? Is your mum did all this? No. But you want to talk to your mum like that and talk to your dad like that, because they're nice people. You wouldn't dare talk to me like that, or some of them year 11s who would knock you out, but you talk to your mum like that. That's a coward, that, bro, and that's a bully. Like, and I always give them a chance. What do you want to do? Do you want to change your life around? And I will help you. We can go football. Like, so if your son said football, I'll be like, I'll tell you who I am. I'll come to your house, do the meeting. Be like, right, I'm going to get you some boots, because most parents can't afford the activity. So I'll be like, football, boxing, I buy the equipment, I pay for the sessions, and then we go and get food, and we build that rapport as a big brother, little brother. So now I've got loads of them, sisters as well, where they phone me, they get me on Instagram. Even to this day, do you remember you changed my life about 5 years ago? Yeah, I never forget that talk you did. And from that, I've gone into college and it's just, that's what makes my soul feel good. All them comments, all them feedback, all the young people that I help. And it comes at the detriment of my trauma, because I'm reliving it. But when you see them kids turn it round, or Matthew's here on a session, that feeling it's better than money, drugs, anything, because the kids are actually happy and safe while they're on your session. We get food, to get knowledge. And at the end of playing football or whatever, we sit down, and I'm not lying, me and the kids, these are kids from, say, age 10 up to 21, and we'll have a conversation starting on football. But by the end of it, we've gone through LGBTQ, whatever it is. We've gone through sexuality. We've gone through wars. We've gone through politics. We've gone through knife crime. I let them lead the conversation, but it's them. We just have a conversation like we are, and I give my opinion, they give theirs, and we meet in the middle somewhere. But it's giving them a chance and a voice to be felt loved and know that they're being listened to. Not just, no, it's like this. Oh, I've never thought of it like that.
Yeah. And like, do you feel like that you're making up for some of the stuff that happened when you were? Yeah,
definitely. Like, I'm not. I am, but I'm not. I've got a good soul. I don't do things thinking God let me in heaven, but I want to get back into heaven. I don't want to. It's long to go into, but I've been hell. My spirit left my body, and I don't care. I'm not crazy. I've never took drugs. I went to hell. It's a dark, void place where I was so scared. And when my soul come back in my body, that's what made me not get revenge and kill the guy that killed my brother. I'm telling you now, it's not about jail, because even in jail, you're going to die one day. So your life sentence is going to end. But when you die, you are going to answer for everything that you did. And how do I answer to... I love Gary. And people always ask me, that was one of the hardest questions. And a kid asked me, did you wish it didn't happen? And I said, nah. Because if Gary would still be alive, I'd be dead or doing life in jail, because I would have followed him to hell. this way, I've turned it round. My brother, Kyle, love him to death, 10 years younger than me. He's got his own Rolex business, so he sells Rolex watches and chains. Lovely guy, like good dad. He's in Rome right now. He does about 8 holidays a year. My other brother JJ is a great dad. He travels. Well, he can't travel now, but he's planning to travel. But we've all turned our life around. So if I would have took that decision not to get revenge, my mum would have had probably 4 kids dead, or 3 in jail, 1 dead. So now the generational curse in my family is over. All our kids are great kids. They've got the dads in their lives. So it's hard as it seems. And I know my mum and that might phone me and say, how can you say that? But the truth is, God took one to save the others, because God knew we all would follow Gary without even thinking.
How hard was it when you were coming out? Because it must have been the expectation that you were going to...
My mum was scared what I was going to do. People can say, the whole gang community was worried, man, because they knew me and Gary were like white on rice, flies around. I loved him more than myself. If you didn't know us, you think we were 2 gay guys. We were always together. The pressure was on me to do it, but I've always been a person where, to a degree, I'm going to do what I want, forget what you think. Now Gary's dead, I'm definitely going to do what I want. And yeah, I thought I had to because what the streets think. But then when I got my job, I thought, and then I'm so sorry, when I had my daughter and I held her, my princess, I remember thinking, if I go to jail for getting revenge, and Gary's killed someone, karma come back on him, I shot someone, karma come back on me, and you get raped or abused or anything, I'm going to kill myself. I've got to be here for you. My daughter, she was the last thing that made me change my life. God was with me, but I was crying every day when I got out. Me and my mum relationship wasn't good. My brothers are still in jail. I'm not with the gang no more. I'm crying every day. How long do you think a grown man can cry before he thinks F it and go and kills a person? It was getting to that point, probably another week. Then when I had my daughter, got to be here for her.
When you were in prison, there must have been the pressure on you as well to...
Yeah, all of them were like, oh, when you get out, I do this, man can get this, man can get that. And I was listening to them, but I didn't say I'm ready to change because they're not going to hear it. I knew in myself I was willing to change. Through Jane's help, I started leaving the gang when I got out. Yeah, I've seen them, like chatted to them, but I told them I've got a job, I'm not in all that. The biggest thing, I had to move. Because me going home, chilling, and then seeing you pulling up, all it takes is, I'm on a bad day, my man's round there, he killed your brother. I'm on a bad day, I'm gone. I would not be here now. I would not be going on 6 holidays. Like, I'm going to Thailand in 2 weeks. Like, I love my daughter. I've done Netflix. I've done Ross Kemp. I've done this great podcast. All the things that I've achieved and I'm going to achieve started with me saying, I'm leaving the gang. I'm not getting revenge. And yeah, people, you're a wimp. You're this, you're that. You're a waste man. I don't care what anybody thinks. My daughter's got a dad. My kid's got a dad. I go football with my daughter. My life is amazing. And I make great money. So who won?
Yeah. And like the kids that are coming up today,
yeah.
Do you think they're different? Like, do you think they're different to how you and Gary was?
Nah, I think most of them have got bonds with someone in the gang. It could be parenting, could be peer pressure, could be society, it could be they just what I have. Because it's kind of hard, especially in London. London is there. Imagine going to school and you've got holes in your Air Forces, but every other kids haven't. You're going to get ridiculed, you're going to get dissed, and getting dissed makes you go home and hate yourself. Then that could lead to suicide. So most people have the mindset like us, forget not having, I'm going to be the one that has, where I've got to take it off you or I'm going to sell drugs, but I'm going to be a have, and I'm going to feed my mum, because a lot of them do it to feed themselves and feed the siblings or feed the mum. A lot of these young kids are just like us, single mums, dad don't care, they've got no guidance, no role models, they're broke, like... And in London as well, you could live over here in a council house or a flat, and then down the road you've got £1 million, £2 million houses. Like, I'm going to come out my house and think, I want some of what he's got, but I don't know how to get it because no one's teaching me education's the way. All I see is the drug dealers with the chains. So it's just, nothing changes. The game don't change. It's just the players that come in the game. Instead of using guns, now they use knives, but they're still selling drugs. They're still doing robberies. They're still doing, all the crimes we did, they're doing. It's just that they use knives now.
Because if anything, Manchester's reputation is even more than what it was back in your day. I mean, I guess it was built in your day, but maybe it's elevated now. Do you reckon?
Nah, I say Manchester's changed. Like, yeah, there's stabbings between the young people, but it's not like how when bodies were getting dropped, people were getting shot every day. To me, the 2 worst places at cities are London and then Liverpool.
Yeah.
London and Liverpool, the murder rates between teenagers is just skyrocketed. But if you think in the 80s and early 90s, London was known for money. London was known, they had the players up here, the Liverpool as well, the Docks, they all had big drug dealers, Curtis Warren. Manchester was Gunchester. Then it's like Manchester took a step back, and now Manchester, everyone's about making money. Not the younger ones are still into a bit of stabbing, but they're about money. You look at London and Liverpool, yeah, they make money, but it's more geared towards gang stuff. So I just think every city has its time of being, for the young people being bad. It's just like it's London's time right now. And I just think all them politics just talk shite, because I always say this, you give a kid a chance to be a kid, he's going to be a kid. I took 17-year-olds who were out shooting with shotguns when they lost their friend. And me and Michelle, who's my CEO, she manages my business, we took them to paintballing. And I stepped back and I went, look at them, because they're all like, yes, that was cold, that. But they're acting like kids, because we're giving them kids things to do. You don't give them kids things to do, they're going to act like adults. So the government needs to open up the youth clubs. They need to give money to kids, to communities, and they need to give parenting lessons. They need to give stuff on racism, and they need to give more into sports, because most kids love sports, but there's nothing for them. What are you going to do if you want to play football, but there's no football pitches? I'm going to hang out with the kids on the estate and cause some trouble, because what else is there to do? Stay in my house and play Fortnite?
Yeah, that's the thing with it. I guess with all the electronic things and like, that's the thing that's changed, really, isn't it? Like,
and the parenting as well, because a lot of parents are scared to let their kids out of the house, which I understand, but all they're doing now is getting electronics. They're not getting fresh air. They don't know how they're socially awkward, because they don't know how to interact with other people. Because remember, 2 years of COVID, a lot of kids' mental health went down, and people don't think of that. Like, the kids need to show the love. When you show a young person you're loved, you've got options, and you are actually somebody, what's the change that young person will make? Not all of them, because some of them really want to be in that life, because whether it's the friend or the family member or the drawer or whatever, but I'm 95% of kids you can actually get through to.
do you think you could have reached yourself?
Yeah. If someone would have said to me about basketball, a mentor like me, someone would have took me for food and took me to games. Of course, because you had someone cheering you. When no one's cheering you, but it's you, and your son's a good player, but I'm scoring most basket. Basket, Matthew. Where's mum? Where's dad? Where's nana? Where's anybody? Why am I doing basketball? No one loves me. I've got holes in my trainers. Nah, I might as well do what Gary's doing, because Gary loves me. Gary asks me how's my game is. Gary gives me everything. I made the right person happy, but the wrong way. If you know what I mean. I should have did the basketball and then came back and got him out, but I was thinking, because I'm young and dumb, high off weed and alcohol, this is what he wants me to do.
Did he tell you like you should do the basketball?
Yeah, I swear, Gary.
He kept saying it to you, but you were just not
my
hearing it, or what was it?
My thing I said to him was, bro, do you think I'm going to do my basketball and leave you here with these guys that don't care about you? I was scared he was going to die. What happened? I went to jail and he died. So if I would have took the basketball opportunity, I could have moved him. So I waited for him to die to actually change my life. That's a bit stupid, that. And that's one of the things that hurt me. And I say it to the young kids all the time. That's daft, that, innit? He told me while I'm alive, get a job or do your basketball. I said to him, nah, because if anything happens, okay, it happened. And then you changed your life. But it had to go that way. Otherwise, I truly believe I won't be here speaking to you. I'd be doing life, or I'd be dead in jail.
Yeah. It's nuts, isn't it? That relationship, because it is like, because from my perspective, it's like, that's your story. It's you and your brother. Is like that the way that you think about it?
Yeah, it was just me and my brother against the whole world. Like I'm saying, when you come in, and Gary makes sure that you eat. Me and my mum are good. We're good now, but for like 30, I'm 41 now, so like 37, 38 years, it was bad. So Gary gave me everything, the masculinity. Gary taught me you don't hit women, you don't hurt kids, you don't hurt old people. If Gary didn't give me my morals, all I would have got it off is from Boys in the Hood, Men in Society, the music, how the gangsters talk about women. You treat them like this. You see gangsters beat up people's parents, do all this, do all. Gary said you don't touch the innocent. The innocent are anyone who's not in the gang life, you don't touch. So the guy that shot me, we could have killed his brother. Never did. Never shot his brother. I'm not going to say his name, but when I did an interview on Channel 5 years ago, and I'll never forget, I got a messenger on WhatsApp, Facebook, and the guy's gone, basically, I'm such and such his brother who shot you. I've just seen your documentary, or what say, congratulations, I'm proud of your rare. And I never forget, for a minute, I was like, cheeky, you know your brother shot me. But then I thought, that was a gangster in me. But Matthew, the nice guy, just thought, do you know how much that must have took him to write that message and send it? Because God rest his brother's not here no more. So then I sent back, you know what, I'm so sorry if I've ever hurt you or your family, rare, but thanks, it means a lot. He went, nah, we all were stupid and misled, but keep doing what you're doing. Told my friends, well, the ex-gang members who I was still chatting to at the time, they went, what, rare, and I said the same thing. And that's when I thought, yeah, I've got to leave yous alone, because that was a big man move to message me, knowing that he don't know how I feel. Now I just work, I go gym, I look after my kids, I go on holidays. But the best thing, what makes me happy is teaching these young, not even kids, these young people. And when you see them turn it round, even if for that hour, some of them are still want to be in that life, but they're not committing crime when they're with me. They're playing football, basketball, we're having food somewhere, I take them to reservoirs. When you take a kid out of the inner city to a reservoir, they're like, wow, it's nice here. I'm like, it's only 20 minutes from your doorstep. I was like you, ready to die in Rusholme. What a fool. Can't remember I used that Tupac song. Obviously, when you're young, you change the lyrics. Oh, live and die in LA. We were like, live and die in Manchester. So how daft I think when I think back of that. I'd rather die on abroad in a nice hot country. Like, the world is so bigger than wherever these young people are from. And you're dying over what? A block that you do not own.
Yeah, it's mad. But you go Dovestone.
Yeah, oh, you know what, Dovestone? Oh, my man knows. I took a few dates there.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's been a journey. It's not finished yet, but one thing I like to say to the young people, anyone listening to this podcast, if you want to change your life, you can change your life. If you want to be someone, you can be someone. Having a reputation in gang life is false, because you can't go to the bank and get a loan or a mortgage. You can't, even in that life, you don't even get a nice girl. Most of the girls want your money because you got the Canada Goose coat on. What happens when you've got no Canada Goose coat money and you're in jail? How many women stick by you? How many of your mates don't try and have sex with your woman? How many mates have tried to set you up to be robbed? And when you get lifed off, how many mates go sit with your mum and give your mum money to go and see you? But they shout you out, gang, 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 and drop out a bit of, put you on a song. Free my man. You're doing your 35, ain't no free in you. And what do they do for you when you're in jail? So you got to look. I always tell young people, look at yourself. If your friends don't tell you to do anything positive, are they really your friends?
Is there anyone that you still see from that, or that you see how they've gone and they've not left the life?
From the gang life, I see nothing. If I see them, I stop and talk to them, whether they were enemies, because obviously I'm working with their kids now, so we've all matured. But yeah, I look and think, you're 40 and you're still selling 10 bags of weed. You've not even gone to the kilo level. Like, give it up and get a job. You're selling drugs to pay for your finance car, your little Rolex you're paying every week, your clothes and your bills. Ain't it better to get a job and do that? Because that's what we do. But man are really sacrificing their freedom to go to jail just so they can say, I'm not a muppet, I ain't got a job. But how much you really making when you're giving my man, I don't know, $2,000 a day and he's paying you $3,000 a day? Or when man are outside your mum's house ready to kick your door off and knife you up or shoot you up, when you can't go out your area without having a knife and 3 guys with you, is it all worth it for a bit of money? And let's be honest, your name doesn't mean nothing when you go to jail. Your name don't mean nothing anyway, because man will still kill you. And it's a bigger point for me if I kill you and you got a bigger name. For what though? For what? I get it. You, my boy, he's just battered you. I want to go and get revenge. But then where does it stop?
Yeah. I think we've covered it all off, unless there's anything else, man. It's been quality.
Oh, nice one. I'd like to say thanks for having me, and I've checked out your work and you do great work. Just keep going, and anyone who's listening to this, you've got an interesting life, drop them an email and come and share your life story. It's all about helping the young people and helping parents, because some parents don't know what to look out for. So telling parents, look at the change of attitude, clothing, his friends, his mannerisms. When your kid used to sit like that, but now he's slumped in his chair, the change of music, the change of his attitude, the activities he wants to do. And for parents that feel that you're failing your kid, if you tried your best, I want to say you're not failing, your kid is failing himself. So don't take it upon yourself to feel you're a bad parent, because all that does is, when you believe you're a bad parent, you make the bad decisions. If you are, there's many great parents out here, single parents, who kids, they've gave them the world, but they still want to go on that path. It's not your fault. Yeah, that's me.
Oh, mate, you've done the outro for me.
Oh. Thank you for having me, man. Thank you, it's been great.
We've been watching On the Edge. Brilliant time with Matthew Norford. Remember to like, follow, subscribe. See you next time.